We know we should take care of ourselves, so why is it so damn hard? Because it takes time, because it takes energy, it takes effort, and we are already extended to the max, and it's just another thing on our interminable list of shit to do. So how do we motivate ourselves when we are so unmotivated to exercise, to eat well, to go to sleep on time, to do whatever it takes to take care of ourselves? We are pain and pleasure-driven creatures. Right now, the pain of doing something more in addition to everything that we're doing is more than the pain of what we're dealing with right now. But what determines what's painful and what's pleasurable? Why is it that for some person going to the gym, it's like, oh my God, just, shoot me. Or another person just can't wait to get out of work and go to gym. The pain and pleasure associations are rooted in your values. What are values? Values is what makes you tick. It's what determines what makes you happy and what makes you unhappy. When you're happy, your values are being met and they are honored and they're present and accounted for. When you're not, they're not. It's as simply as that. So whether something is painful or pleasurable is largely depends on what you value and what's important. So we often, when we get stressed and our bodies don't function very well and feel somehow compromised, then we run to the internet. It's like, how do I decrease stress? How do I manage stress? But you can't do that until and unless you understand why those particular situations, stresses, people stress you out. So, and the reason why they do that is because they inherently are in conflict with the values that you have. So would you agree that would make sense to understand what are your values, understand how you mine for your values, and how do you begin this conversation of navigating life consciously, understanding your triggers, understanding your needs, your wants, your desires, and understanding where your pleasure and pain continuum comes from, so then you can start using it to your advantage. So, how do you tap into values? Well, you can start with a simple question: what's important to me? Is it relationships? Is it safety, security? Is it adventure? Is it love? Is it money? Is it family? Is it, I don't know, beautiful places? Is it nature? You just kind of start fleshing it out and just throwing some words out there. Another way you could think about it is look at your peak experience in life, sometime when you felt really, really happy, and identify why were you happy? What was there? Were you surrounded by people or were you alone? So maybe connection is important in first instance, and then the second one, maybe peace is really important. Was it in a beautiful place? Was it, were you learning? Were you, or were you on vacation? Were you doing something specific? Say, I just remember myself eating chocolate. Well, what about this chocolate? It could be about self-love. It could be about self-compassion. It could be about sensory pleasure. It could be about enjoying everything that life has to offer and being mindful and not worrying. All these things tap into what really is important to you, what you want. Another way to tap into values is what is it you don't like and what really drives you nuts. So there could be a suppressed value. So say what upsets you is when people interrupt conversations. Why is that? Because is it about respect? Is it about communication, clear communication, and not forgetting what you're about to say? Like, what is it about that action that really drives you nuts? Because that points you to what is important to you that this person is stepping on when they're interrupting your conversation. Another source of looking for values could be what people say about you. It could be, Anya is always chasing after a new thing. She always wants to take another class, read another book. I can't get her to get her the attention because she's always reading something. Learning is important to me. It's really, learning growth is really, really important to me. So people see it and they comment on it, but that's a cue. Or why you are always so obsessed with cleaning a house. Well, what is it about cleaning a house that is important to you? Is it again about peace of mind and not having distractions? Is it about self-worth? You are the person who can keep your house together. Is it about what people say about you? So is it, again, self-worth, self-esteem? Is that important? Or is it about maybe contribution? You want to make your house beautiful and clean and comfortable for your family members. So is that why you are after a clean house? Look towards the books you love to read. If you love to read romance novels, then love is important. Maybe romance is important. Maybe adventure is important. Maybe a little bit of a mystery where you get to learn something new, and you like to learn, you like to grow, and you like different things. That's what floats your boat. People who inspire you. What is it about them that's inspiring? Write all these things down. Don't worry about what you're going to do with it. Just write it down. Movies that you love to watch. Imagine yourself on a spaceship coming into the Earth, into some uninhabited planet, and you get to decide what this planet's going to be. As soon as the spaceship opens, you get to touch the ground and you say, it's going to be this way. What way is that? There is a value buried there. Imagine yourself owning a billboard by a highway, and there are millions of people that passes it every day, every week. What's the message you would put on that billboard for them? What do you want them to know? That is a buried value. So start fleshing these things out. And when you have all these words on your paper, now what you want to do is you want to go to all the things that you wrote down, and you want to ask yourself, is this an ends value or is it a means value? What I mean by that is you don't want family. You don't want a bunch of people under the same roof. You want what family gives you. What is it? Is it love? Is it safety? Is it belonging? Is it connection? Value is always a feeling. It's never things. You don't want money. You want what money gives you. Is it safety? Is it generosity? Is it contribution? Is it learning? Is it adventure? What will you have when you have the money? So start thinking and start taking every word and start asking yourself, what's important about this? What's important about this? Until you come to the end of the line. When you ask what's important about this, it's like, no, this is it. This is the end of it. What's important about family? It could be connection. Well, what's important about connection? It's about love. What's important about love? Well, love. To me, love is love. So you come to these end values, which are always going to be feelings. And then when you have the values, you prioritize them. And how do you do that? You ask yourself, you go to number one, you said, I will have one, this, I have love, but I will never ever have adventure. Which will I keep? For me, it's love. All right, number two, I'm going to have adventure, or I'm going to have spirituality, but not both. Spirituality. I will have adventure, or I will have respect. Which will I take? Adventure. So see how you start coming up not just with what is your value, but what are the values in order of importance. What that does, it helps you start identifying places and situations which honor them and which do not, and which on base of which you understand your pain and pleasure continuum. So if, for example, self-care, an act of taking care of your body, might be including exercise, and you were thinking about exercise as something I have to do because I have to take care of myself, whatever, it's not very sexy. All of a sudden you think about, I need to go to the gym, because when I go to the gym and when my body is vibrant and strong and I feel really good, I get to travel. I get to interact with people in a way that draws them to me, because I have this vibrancy of health and I feel so good. And all of a sudden this workout, this stupid 30-minute of up and down exercise that you find extremely boring, when you connect it to your values, it becomes a no-brainer. I don't go to fast food restaurants, not because I have a judgment, but because they don't align with how I want to feel. I want to feel vibrant. I want to have energy. I want to be able to go out and go on a bike ride and go out in nature and go for a walk and do things that are physically strenuous. And when I eat a bunch of fast food, it makes me feel sluggish and bloated and gross and I don't want to do those things. So this is not in line with my values. So now it's not even a choice. It's just a non-issue. So I hope this is helpful for you to understand that sometimes managing stress is managing, not sometimes, all the time, is managing pain and pleasure. But how you can start managing pain and pleasure is to link them to the right things. When the act of taking care of yourself, even if it involves something difficult, is linked to something bigger, more important and powerful, you will follow through. If it's just the pain of doing an action, most likely you will avoid this pain because it is much more immediate than the payoff of a future pleasure of the outcome. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions about it, shoot me an email and I will help you get started. But for now, dig in because that is a game changer. If you start making decisions in your life based on your values, magic happens. So share, subscribe, join me for the next episode of Life Blowout Prevention Project. This is Anja Gramon, and I will see you next time.